Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks for another Gotham City update. I just want to say a massive thank you to all of the people that have watched the videos, placed comments and liked the video. It really is encouraging and it is very much appreciated. To see how invested people are getting in this series already is just, it's really good. And also it's helped me so much. The comments, the suggestions, you can't believe how much they helped me try and work out the best Gotham City layout to have here. And in the last update, somebody did comment about the docks area here, saying would it look better to have it along this edge here so you had continuous water. Now, even with it being here, it is going to be continuous water, so I'm going to have something coming out here roughly where the pickup truck is, and then the water will continue the other side going all the way down the table until it reaches the very end. However, I do think that if I did rotate that around by 90 degrees and have the waterfront here, it could potentially look a little bit better. And I just need to work out whether or not it will all fit in. At the moment, this section just here is 3.5 large grey base plates, whereas this is 5, so that's fine. But I do still want to have Arkham on the end there. So whether or not I can fit Arkham onto 1.5 grey base plates in width going that way, I'm not sure, but I'll have to have a think about it. And also, if I did do that, where would I then put the Blackgate prison? So it's just things like that that I do need to have a think about. But there is potential it might look better. So you've got the really run down rugged area of Gotham, then you've got the high raised platform, and then it gets into more of the actual city itself. So it could separate the two, not districts, but sections quite nicely. Now, over on the back here, somebody did say, and it's cropped up numerous times throughout previous Gotham videos, about a subway. And I would love to have one in here. However, I just can't work out, or couldn't work out, how it was going to work. In the last update, somebody did comment about would it be possible to have a bat train that left from the Batcave and then came down into the city. And I got thinking about it and I thought that would be really cool. If I can get some sort of turntable inside the Batcave so the train could turn around, I could have a train line that came all the way along this back wall until it gets to Arkham Asylum. And then in Arkham Asylum, I could have the Batcave satellite station sort of thing where there's a minimal, really small Batcave. And what I would have is the train would go under, so I'd have a raised platform the entire length of this side of the table, probably only one base plate thick in places, and on top of it I would have the old Wayne Tower over here. Now at the moment this building's too tall as it is without me even raising up even further, so I would have to condense that down quite a bit. But underneath Wayne Tower I could have the old Wayne Terminus like you see in the Batman film. So Bat train would come through that section just there. The actual subway would use part of the same train track, but instead of going into Wayne Terminus, it would veer off and go around it. And the same when it gets to the end, instead of going into the Batcave, it would loop round in front of it and then come back again. And same again, it would come through. There'd be a subway station just here, which would be below the actual train station. And rather than come into Arkham Asylum, it would loop beforehand and go back. So there would be another junction point just here. And all of the junction points that lead to places where Batman has got his like bat caves or workstations or anything like that, I would put it so there are doors that open and close, only Batman can get in there. So it is something I'm thinking about, and I do think it could work really well. So I'm just going to have a good think about that. Again, I mean, ordering even more railway track than I already need to order, because at the moment I haven't even got enough to do the raised line here. I'm just making do, but I also need to have some that does the upper railway line, which is going to be considerably higher. So if I had to do another one down the bottom, I think I end up buying 2 or 3 more train sets, which at the moment I can't afford. So yeah, it is something I'm just thinking about, but I do think it could add a lot to Gotham City. It's going to add a lot more layers to the city. And again, this is something that I think would work really well, because if I have got a raised platform along here, if it's coming out, I can have like run down stuff underneath it. And then on top, you've got the more pristine parts of Gotham. So it's almost like you see in Batman Begins, where she goes down and shows him the underworld and how the people are struggling in Gotham City. You could almost have that sort of effect on this part, so I do really like that. And again, with the road section, you could have the chase scene, and this is, again, it was in the comments last week, where you've got the scene from The Dark Knight where the Joker and Batman are having their chase. So again, all of these things, it's looking, there's so much potential with the layout as it is at the moment. But I thought I'd just share those comments with you with that. So, and I've been rambling on a bit, but I just thought I'd get out there what my thoughts are on there. And it's important to share these thoughts because it's, as I said, by me doing so in the previous updates, people have come forward with ideas which I hadn't even thought of, like Killer Croc in a sewer system somewhere. I think that would be really cool as well. So again, if I've got more raised areas, then I can add that to the city. So keep those comments coming. Really do appreciate them. And the fun of mapping out Gotham City continues. And man, this is so much fun trying to work out where to put buildings, where to put bridges, where to put the roads and all things like that. It is brilliant fun. As you can see here, we've got another structure built up, and this is going to be the second raised platform. And I just want to get an idea of how imposing it's going to be on the city. Is it going to look right? And I think it's going to work out really well. I will make it a little bit wider this way, whether it's by another 16 studs or 32 studs, I'm not sure. And then we'll have buildings obviously on top of that. But I think when you get the road going through it, the train line's going to be going in and out of it as well. You're going to have the higher train line going through the centre of it as well. I think all of these things are really going to add a lot of character to that part of the build. And I think it's going to look really complex, very modern in some ways. But yeah, it's certainly going to have a Gotham vibe about it. And I can't wait to get started on doing that sort of thing. Now, when I was just putting these pillars up, I was really struggling to get to the middle of the table. And I'm thinking maybe this table might just be a little bit too tall. And the reason I went for this height was because of the Calyx units. I wanted to have them to help take the weight of the city on there. So they are acting as a support as well as the 40 odd legs, however many's in there. So what I might very well do, this raised platform section here, I might make it modular so I can just slide it out and slide it back in when I need to make amendments to it. Obviously with the train line, I'm going to need to make sure that it lines up perfectly so I can clip the train line all back together. But yeah, it's certainly proven a challenge. Maybe if I stand on a stool, I can get to it. I might just have to climb on the table. So I might have to remove certain parts here, get on there, and then I can actually get to work on it. But anyway, down to this part here, the docks. Now, the amount of times I've said, yeah, that's the place for it to be. Really like how it looks there. And once again, it's changed. Moving the docks down to the end here, I definitely think this is the best place for it. And I think once I've extended that water, it's going to look a lot better. That way I can put a boat along here or a couple of boats, so things are being unloaded onto the docks to give it that much more storytelling opportunities. Ace Chemicals, I'm not sure whether that's going to stay roughly where it is at the moment or bring it behind the Falcone warehouse. Coming down this way, I want to continue to have some more either warehouses or this sort of structure going along here. When I get to the end, I think I'm either going to just stop the docks with some rock work or stop it, and then there'll be a channel of water which will then go around the front of Arkham Island or Arkham Asylum. I'm not sure again whether or not it's going to be attached or whether it's going to be totally apart from it. But yeah, there's a little bit of planning I need to do with that. But again, I think once that's pushed back as well, it's just going to make this feel a little bit bigger, because at the moment, around the back here, you've probably got about 20 studs that's just being used up by that rockwork, the water, and that exercise yard. So moving it back, I think, is definitely going to help with that. We're going to need to do something on the front here, car parking for the Arkham Asylum. And it'd be pretty good if I could have a bridge that goes over from the race platform area to the car park outside Arkham. Now again, whether or not I do another tunnel that goes through, and it could go through to the back, so it's behind the train line, so that anybody that's being dropped off will come through a tunnel and then they'll get into Arkham that way. I'm not sure. So again, I want to try and make it look as complex as possible to really give it a Gotham-like feel to it. What I'm going to start off by doing now, I think, is for the 6,000th time, I'm going to amend this section just down here, put more water at the front. And another thing as well, I think another thing that's going to be next up is working out where the train lines are going to go. So I know roughly how the upper train line is going to be, and that doesn't really make much difference because it's all going to be supported. But if I am going to be doing a train line down the bottom here, which is going to take me from the Batcave down to Arkham, I really need to get that put in place now, and the subway, so I can start working out the structural side of it, the foundations all around it. Because the foundations, once I get that all sorted out, then I can start actually putting the buildings together, putting the roads down as well. We've had a little bit of an accident, brought these buildings over to this side of the table, and I had the fire station the other side, rotated it around and wasn't holding onto the edge of the base plate quite enough. I thought it was really secure, and it just bent a little bit, and with that, all of this toppled onto the floor. So I now have bricks all over the place. So yeah, got even more rebuilding to do on this building than there was originally. But oh well, these things happen. Just need to be that a little bit more careful in the future. And it really does feel like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, and it's a complete mess in here. Surprise, surprise. And I cleared this side of the table of buildings, moved them over to that side for the time being. So I've got all fresh base plates over here. And the reason being, I want to get the subway and the Bat train line just mapped out down here to see if it is going to fit. The layout that I've been visualising, I'm not sure how it's going to work, whether it's going to work. So I thought, bring the track over, pop it down, then I'll know whether or not it is. If it is going to work, what I will then do is start mills plating this side, see how much of that I can get done with the parts I have available to me, and then I can work out what track I need to order in. Obviously, all the train track I've nicked from the race train line. I know I've got to order train line for the the train that goes through the Wayne Tower as well. So there is a lot of this that we're going to need to get. It's going to be an expensive job, but yeah, we'll get there eventually. Anyway, let's bring all the track over, start mapping it out, and see if this design that I've got in mind is going to work or not. And here is the train track all laid out that I have got, so it gives a better visual idea of how it's going to look. And this is where the Batcave is going to be, so this is the part that's going to go under. It might be nice to have just one section straight there. I'm not sure how that reacts to the lining up. It might bring it too far down here, so I'll just have to look into that a little bit later on. But yeah, it's nice to know that this is all working out. And this section here will be mirrored down the other ends and be underneath the Arkham Asylum. And then this curve here, the first one, that'll be the rest of the subway. So all I would now need to do is work out what track will bring here to another switch to go around here, so that the subway train misses going through Wayne Terminus and it bypasses it. So yeah, that's it's all coming on nicely here. It's take a little while just to make sure that it all fits together. Apart from just mocking up a couple of the raised train lines, I've never actually used a Lego train set before, so this is a massive learning curve as well. But yeah, all good fun, like the rest of it. Anyway, let's work out what pieces I need and how easy it's going to be to put the bypass around the old Wayne Tower. And yeah, we can then finally order all that train track. And it's haul time. So I recently ordered all of the base plates I needed for Gotham City, and they had the gift with purchase offer on, where it was the pumpkin and the Fortnite brickhead. So I placed 2 separate orders, and to make it up, I've put an order in for the pick brick, as I needed these pieces for Gotham. So we've got some 2x2 tiles. You can never have enough of those for a city. Some 1x2 by 3 high of the slopes, and also some cheese wedges as well. So that's for my rock work. Trying to mix the rock work up a little bit, because previously I've just gone for the dark brown and the dark bluish grey. So I thought I'd throw a bit of light bluish grey in there as well. It might be a nice contrast. And on the other order, I placed, it was some of the 1x2 by 2 slopes, some inverted slopes in there as well. There's also some 1x4 slopes as well, but they're actually for the Tantive mock, and that mock will be coming along or starting very, very soon. Now, this weekend I was at BrickCon in Dublin, and whilst up there, I went to the Lego store and did pick this up, which again is obviously for the Tantive build. I collect the anniversary minifigures, so I needed to get Cutie Katie, but also want some more of the Rebel Fleet Troopers and Stormtroopers. And this Fleet Trooper has got a different head, so it's nice to be able to mix the heads up a little bit. So yeah, got that set as well. That's a Lego exclusive. And also, whilst up in Dublin, I went to a toy store called Smith's, and they usually have some really good deals up there. And I picked up the Batpod. Now, this is a remake of a set that came out. I think it was a GWP. It was a limited edition when the original Tumbler came out, I believe. And it goes for silly money now. And there was actually one for sale at BrickCon. It was €1,500. This set I paid €40 for, so it's almost half price. Not a fan on the Batman figure, especially as he's only got 3 fingers and a thumb. Don't know what's going on there. Obviously, it's just the parts. I can't fit a 4th finger on there. But yeah, I think the bike looks really cool. So yeah, got that. So really pleased to be able to add the Batpod to my 89 Batmobile, Tumbler and Batwing when I finally get around to making those. So yeah, exciting times ahead with that. And we've had a little bit of destruction at the docks here. And the reason being, I want to make it so every single base plate is connected together, so there's no cracks in between it. So I'll be tiling over each one. And now that I'm going to be having the water as a whole base plate, I just need to work out a way of connecting it. So I'm just going to be putting some black plate down on the bottom here, which will join the two together. I'll then build the brick wall on top of that, and then the water will come here. And the good thing is, when it comes to, if I ever have to move this a section at all, this will very easily break off there, and this plate here will just be overhanging. But yeah, it's amazing how much destruction you need to do just to make a simple change like that. But yeah, it's in sections, so it shouldn't take too long to put back together. And that's the docks all repaired, and the base plates put in front of it along the water. And I've got one large grey base plate free either side of it, and then I've got 2 base plates there ready for the Arkham Asylum. Now, previously Arkham took up 4 of the large grey base plates. I'm not sure how much I'm going to need this time round, as I'm pushing it back on the build, so it's up against the wall. There's not the 10 studs at the back there that I had previously, or 12 studs. So I could potentially get away with just 2 grey base plates for it. However, I do want to extend it in some ways, and also the exercise yard that was at the back needs to be at the front as well. So it may end up taking the 2 after all. And that's the docks all extended and the water put in front of there. I will be changing the texture up on the water here. At the moment, the majority of it is black plate. I have put the spill in there from the Ace Chemical plant. There will be a pipe going along here. This section here is going to be for parking for a couple of Ace Chemical trucks going on there. That'll be the road out. And then there'll be some loading bays behind the Falcone warehouse. Now, there are a couple of different colour plates in here. There's some dark blue in there, sorry, some normal blue in there, and some dark green. And I will be putting more colours in here as well further on down the line, and also putting some trans clear studs underneath some of these parts to give the effect of waves. So I will do a lot more detailing on here once I get the parts in and get a little bit more sorted in the Lego room. Now, one thing that I am considering doing is having the Joker Funhouse around about this area here, and then it will go over to the waterfront. So the roller coaster will be over the actual water itself at one part. And then at the back there, there'll be quite a steep either cliff face or wall, and then Arkham will be perched on top of that, looking down over this rundown part of Gotham. So that's the plans at the moment. As you can see, there's been a bit of carnage down the table here, and it's where I've been moving the base plates around to have clear ones to just place down here to get a better visual of this section. So what I'll be doing later on this evening, tidying all of this up. I still need to sort through a load of bricks, and I'll be doing that again so that I can start finding out all the parts I need to do the mills plates for going down this entire section here. And fingers crossed, I will have the railway track in my possession in the next day or two, and then once I've got that, I can then start putting the railway tracks down permanently and start building the supports all the way around it for the raised platforms and the tunnels and things like that. And also, it will enable me to know exactly where the structures go in for the Batcave below Arkham, the one below the Wayne Manor, and all that sort of thing. So the mills plate and the train line are very important to get those done sooner rather than later, because it's going to really help to develop the city. And I am considering moving the road that goes down the centre over by 16 or 32 studs, just purely because this raised platform is going to be wider than I was anticipating. So it would be nice to have a little bit of a gap between the road and the raised platform. But yeah, it's been a good week. It's been really good fun making all these constant changes, which are coming as a result of the comments that people are leaving in the comment section. So keep them coming. It is really appreciated. I've said it before and I'll say again, this is just so much fun trying to recreate this Gotham City in this Lego room. So yeah, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. And if you know anybody else you think that would be interested in Gotham City, if you can share the channel with them, it'd be much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for popping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.